Welcome back. So after the catastrophe that was the last round of stuff, I've been getting a little bit of things done around the house in the background. The cabinet on the front porch is now, I believe, officially done. There might be one more little thing that I tinker with a little bit, but it is good and set to go. Cleaned up the yard quite a bit, did some work on the burn pit out back, all boring stuff. The plan at this point is for the Craftsman, I'm going to get a new engine. I believe I have an engine in my grasp, and so there's going to be an engine swap on that, and I don't really want to speak too much on that just because I'm not trying to jinx myself, you know. So when I have the engine in my clutches, then we can go over that. Beforehand though, I will need to go through the tractor, obviously get the old engine off, but I'm also going to take the opportunity to do some wiring on it. I'm going to simplify that wiring harness right down to just the bare basics. If anyone remembers the video that I did a while ago on that other lawnmower that I have, the Green Ranch King, I went through, ripped all of the stuff off of it, all of the wires and all the sensors and everything else off of it, and rewired the whole thing front to back, just with a really simple, really simple wiring scheme, I guess you would say. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the Craftsman. Just that way it eliminates a lot of the little hiccups that can happen with the sensors and all the kinds of things that are on there that honestly I'm surprised that haven't already been giving me problems, just because that's my luck. So yeah, I'll have to go through, eliminate the engine, get that off of there. I will, while I have that off, I'm going to take all the wiring and stuff off of it and rerun and route all of that neat stuff. But what you see here before you on the bench here is going to be what I started all off with, I suppose. I had, for a different project, a key, a toggle push button like power on off, and then a start, an engine start push button. And what I've done and already done is I've cut out this plate at work. The idea is that the key is going to go here. There's a little indicator light that it just tells you that you have power flowing through the system, and then this is going to be the push button start. I will, however, say already, just from kind of holding this up to the tractor, that I am going to have to modify this. First and foremost, the holes. When I took my measurements, I had the measurements written down and everything else. Immediately forgot to take that to work with me, so I was kind of going off of memory whenever I was plugging these numbers into the computer. And this hole is okay for the most part. I could still probably ream it out a little bit and make it fit a little bit better. These other two holes are too small. They're not like grotesquely too small, but they are small enough to prevent the thing from going in and sitting the way it's supposed to. So I need to drill these out a little bit. But then really the issue with this thing is going to be mounting it to the lawnmower itself. What I want to do is I want to take the old key switch out, and because it's not just a switch, it's not just the key, it has this whole like plastic thing around it that's got like safety instructions and crap like that on it. So I'm going to pull that whole thing out, and it's roughly about the size of this. This will overtake it just a little bit on the sides and on the top and the bottom. But the little holes here on the side that you can see, I think those are going to be worthless, to be honest, just from holding it up there and sort of doing a visual mock. So I think what might wind up happening is I'll take that old thing out, and then I'll start fitting this up there, and see, I'm probably going to wind up shaving the corners down because I think they're going to poke out too far anyhow, and then I'll just have to drill new holes for probably some riv-nutted bolts or something, you know, just so it can be easily removed for maintenance and stuff like that. But yeah, so what I'm going to do real quick today, I'm going to take and get all of my switches and stuff fitting in here nice, and then I can really just go ahead and sort of start mocking up, you know, take that old switch out, start mocking it up, get it to where it's set on there before I start really digging into that thing. There we go. That was a simple enough job. I still got some fine tuning to do, don't get me wrong. But the little indicator light is in. Good to go. Push button start is in. Good to go. The key still needs a little bit. You see it is sitting in there pretty good, but you can see there how it attaches. I'm gonna have to get creative, because otherwise I'm just gonna push it through. So we'll work on this as we go. I got it to the point that I wanted to get it to for now, at the very least. So and then plus too, I still have to mock it up, and like I said, I'll shave these corners off and have to re-drill the holes anyhow. So whatever. We made some good progress on that. Made some good progress on a couple of other things. I am gonna tinker around a little bit more in the shop today before I go to bed, and we'll be back out here tomorrow. I don't want to jinx myself, okay? There's been a development with Craftsman. So, upon further review, the play on the field will be overturned, it looks like, because it don't sound good, but it's not locked. The starter, the little teefies here on the gear, were not where they were supposed to be. I'm going to do an oil change and see if I can't get it to fire. Because, look, I wanted, so the engine that I wanted was a 22 horse V-twin. I really was starting to like enjoy the idea of having that on here. But if I don't have to spend at least $250 to $300 on an engine that I'm being told is good, and if I want a brand spanking new one out of the box, you're talking $1,200. So yeah, fingers crossed for me to get this thing started. Let's go with that one. Well, you go and take a seat. So the it's been a weird ride, guys. It's been a weird ride. After doing some cursory looking, I think the camshaft needs to be replaced. Apparently on these Briggs & Stratton engines, there's a goofy little arm that controls engine decompression that I guess supposedly is garbage, like even the ones from the factory. And as a matter of fact, the one guy that I was listening to talk about it just now before I started recording this was that apparently they are so junk that you can almost always never find actual Briggs & Stratton replacement parts. You have to order like third-party Chinese stuff, which whatever, that's most things nowadays, you know. Everybody should be kind of used to that at this point. So, I think the plans have changed a little bit. I have ordered the replacement kit that is available for purchase. Amazon claims that it'll be here on the 3rd. Today is currently the 1st. I don't see that happening unless it's at a Napa somewhere like 12 miles away or something, because the mail just don't run that fast out here. It just don't happen. I will say, however, though, I still intend to rewire it, because I've already done up that switch and everything else for it, so I may as well just go ahead and do that anyhow. The engine does have to come off. However much oil's in there now that's brand new is garbage now. But, you know, I digress. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So, yeah. It'll be... I don't think it'll be today. Just because I got you... You guys are actually sitting on another one of the projects that needs to get done. There's a fan in the kitchen that's doing one of these as it goes, and I don't really like that. For whatever reason, something tells me if I let that go for long enough, that thing's gonna come down and hit me on top of my head, and then I'm gonna be real unhappy then. So yeah, tomorrow, maybe. I mean, it's gonna have to be soon. I can almost guarantee you that if it does rain at some point in time, I'm definitely gonna be push mowing the yard. Whatever, I guess I could stand to lose a couple pounds, you know. And yeah, we'll just keep plugging away. Hopefully we can get the Craftsman back up and running, tip-top shape at the very least, and then I can move on to something else. And here we are so far. I got the deck off. The deck is going to need some attention. I don't remember this being a problem when I had it off and replaced the pulley and the blades. However, that is very loose. I don't think it needs to be... I mean, it needs to be able to move because it pivots back and forth, but I don't think it needs to be that loose. And then now, you can see it's stuck. The two clutches are stuck open. And I'm not really sure. I mean, I haven't looked into it yet, and it doesn't appear just from looking at it that there should be anything stopping it. So, yeah, we'll need to look at that. I got the hood off, up and out of the way. The bottom pulley, I guess your drive pulley or whatever we're calling that, is off. I got the mounting bolts out, and now I just need to do throttle and then disconnect the starter over here. There's two connectors and then the main wire there. I can get this up off of here and over onto the bench there and start tearing into it. Well, you can see the hood's back on there. That's going to come back off. I got this whole area cleaned up. Anyone who has ever taken an engine off a lawnmower will understand what this can look like underneath there. It now no longer looks like that. I still have a little bit of cleanup here to do. Nothing serious. I have you can see the little window there. I have the key completely removed. I'm going to try and utilize some of these wires. I have a couple diagrams on my phone that I will be referencing. Lawnmower wiring, just for a basic absolute minimum to start the thing and run it, is really simple. But so we got the engine off over here on the bench, and I haven't started tearing into it yet, but I have tipped it up, because the first thing that I'm gonna have to do is take the head cover off and loosen my I don't know, valves or whatever. I'll take the push rods out, and then I'll be able to take this bottom plate off. And once I get into the bottom plate, that's where the meat of the job is going to be. The camshaft is in there, and the governor gears and everything else. I have the stuff over on the bench there, but this is not what we're going to get to today. I would really like to at least not get ahead of myself, and because I was planning on trying to get everything done today. Definitely not going to be able to do that. So today, I think is going to be wiring. So I'll go through, strip all of the old wiring off, and through consulting my wiring diagrams that I have, we'll then rewire it and get everything ready to reconnect. I would like to utilize some of the old connectors even, if I can. If not, whatever, you know, we'll go as we go, you know, kind of thing. But here we are at this point in the stage of the progress of the project, and we're gonna see what we can get done. Taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to. It's not that big of a deal, just kind of my own personal thing. I have made a measure of progress though. So where we're at is a giant mess of tools, but all the wiring stripped out, and I've started routing the new stuff. So currently right now, this is my little plate that I 3D printed out, and this is the new system, the new starting system. This is supposed to, I don't know if you can make it out on the camera there. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's going to look like a piece of wood. I don't know. I'm going to paint it and see how it turns out. But I got my wiring started back there. I need to pull the rest of the wiring over here, and I want to start kind of routing it because there's some of it's going to have to go back to the battery and the starter solenoid. So that's what we're doing now. Probably going to curse myself, but had a little bit of luck in the name of not mowing my grass. So I believe I am ready to start messing with the engine. The wires, the new wires, have not completely been ran just yet. I've done a fair amount of work though, at least I believe it to be a fair amount of work. I got everything wired up there. Seems fine, ready to be connected down further in the line. I got the faux wood painted up. I don't know, from my point of view on the camera here, it doesn't seem any different. I'll try and get a better perspective, but there's that. It's in there. Everything fits and works. I feel alright about it. Other than that, I've gone through, you might be able to have noticed that this area in here looks different. This will be under a plastic cover bit that you won't see, so this is not important. But there was a spot down here that had some holes drilled. I filled those holes, spray painted it, and then down there, roughly about there, is where there was a sensor there, and I deleted that, filled the holes. Yeah, I think I'm ready now to start messing with the engine. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to be today, but it'll be tomorrow. I'll come out and start tearing into that. Shouldn't be too difficult of a process, and I hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot by saying that. I really do. But it'll just be tearing the lower half off, extracting camshaft, putting the new one in, putting everything back together, new gaskets and stuff. I'll go over it a little bit more when we get there. Alright, so this is where we're at currently. I don't really know as if this is like correct to have all this here. I don't really care. I got the valve cover off, and I'm trying to clean that up. I've been bouncing back and forth between different things here and there. dumped a bunch of gas that was in the carb, you know. But I got down in here, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. I will definitely be pulling stuff out. Yeah, there you go. Look, you can see all the bits down in there. And that is off of this here. This is the camshaft. And it other than the little decompression arm that once upon a time was on there and is no longer at all even remotely close to on there, it appears to be in well enough shape, you know. Like you would think that this is a good part if you didn't know that arm was supposed to be there. And it's a real shame too, because you know, a good part's a good part. But so here's the new one, and you see the little arm still on there. And you know, I mean, just from what I've learned, this, as the camshaft spins, this will come out, and there's an arm. Well, the glare is hitting me. Okay, there we go. I can see now. You guys could probably already see. So that arm there, it'll spin. There's a flat spot on it, and that allows the tappet to roll across it, and it doesn't lose compression. This is just for startup, I believe is what it's for. I guess not a bad idea, but I don't know. There probably could be a better one, you know. Anywho, so yeah, I'm now going to fish all of the bits out, and I guess, I mean, I really think the camshaft's the only thing that like really needed to be replaced. But you know, the kit that I bought came with new tappets, all new gaskets, new camshaft, even the new governor thing, and I'm pretty sure that thing's good still. So, but you know, I got them, so I may as well just do the job, you know. Of course, once I fish all that crap out. We've reached the next little stage in the process. I wanted to pop in, sort of update. This is all the crap that I've pulled out of here. I believe that's all of it. It's just that little hook arm that apparently is notorious for grenading itself. So we're ready for reassembly again. I got the this new seal in, and there is, I've been told to look out for, there's a little hole there. You don't want to block that off. It seems like as long as you don't block that off, you're in a good position. That is as clean as it's going to get for me. It doesn't have to be pristine, brand new. I might spend another few minutes trying to get a bit more of this old gasket off. This area down here is really giving me some problems, so I'll probably tinker with this a little bit. But new lifters or whatever are in, crankshaft, governor, everything has sort of I've squirted it all down as I've reassembled it with it's like a 530 Marvel Mystery Oil mix, and I got the gasket set in place for when the bottom half is done and ready to be put back on. There's no oil pump in this engine, so there was a couple steps that I didn't have to do in the end. If you have an oil pump or whatever, the kit that I got actually did come with an arm, the oil pump arm or whatever it is. I don't need it. It's extra for me. We'll clean this back up, get everything slapped back together, and I can start looking up torque specs. I don't know. I've watched a couple guys that say it's not really necessary to like get it to torque spec, but I think I'm probably going to. Alright, so engine's on. I got a bunch of other random stuff hooked up. I got the what is it, the rectifier regulator, I guess. I got a new one of them, got it hooked up, everything's ran. I'm going to reuse the black wire that came off of that down to the connector there. And my new wiring setup will sort of plug into that. I need to tighten that, but the starter is connected. And really, we're moving to the key now. This whole mess back here. I got a hot coming off of the push start. I'm going to connect that to the key. There needs to be grounds, corresponding grounds. And then I think I already have the hot from the solenoid coming up to the key, so I'll just have to connect that. And I don't know, I'll look at my wiring diagram again to make sure I'm getting everything right. So, it has taken far too long, in my opinion. I do have it now. Now, I will say this is sort of eating me alive as we speak. So, my little indicator light that tells me I now have power going to the start button doesn't light up. And I might have blew the bulb, to be honest with you, but I haven't messed with it again. I just got it to where, so the key is off. Oh, apparently it lights up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyways, it doesn't start the vehicle or the mower. Key to the run position. There's 3 stages in this. I don't have the 3rd stage done in, but so key on. There we go. Now it'll be, I just got to put the boot back on the spark plug, get the fuel tank back on, plumbed into the carburetor. I'm not going to fill it up. I'll just put a little gas in there, just enough to see if I can get it to fire. Well, alright, y'all. I think after a week longer than I planned on it taking, I believe I've finally done it. Now, so first thing I'll cover is this. As you can see, this is no longer a key. It is now just a toggle switch. Even the light doesn't even light up. I was going through, I wanted a key power push button ignition or start. And I think what was happening is I was just trying to push too many amps through that key. Because at first I was popping fuses. Then I swapped some of the wiring around, and I was just melting. I was melting the backside of that key completely off of it. So I kind of went back to the drawing board. I will figure that out for a later date, because remember, I do have the Cub still. That one day will replace the Craftsman, and I definitely am going to do key power push button start on that. So, I'm gonna have to figure this out. But for the Craftsman, for now, this is gonna work. It has to, because I have already push mowed the yard twice, and if I don't have to do it again, I really don't want to. I mean, don't get me wrong. If the push mower was all I had, it'd be perfectly fine. But I have this thing. I imagine, just for any reference at all, I will do a quick little sketch up of the current wiring diagram of this, and I'll put it up on screen during this segment of me rambling. I have it all back together now, though. New coil and or rectifier. What else did I do? Push button start, switch, completely rewired. I did some touch-up painting here and there. I'm not particularly happy with, but whatever. We're gonna move on with our lives. Now, I'm gonna throw the hood back on it, put the plastic covering air filter thing back on top, and the gas tank back in, and fire it up, and see see if it's developed any weird ticks. I do eventually still have to figure out why the clutch on the deck there, the belt clutches are sticking. I think I've figured it out. It should be as simple as just sort of sanding down a little nub that's catching a thing. But yeah, so let's get this thrown back together and started, right? Well, the hood's not on it just quite yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and fire it up now. That way, just in case it makes a liar out of me, I can easily get back at it. So here we go. Yeah, buddy. All put back together. Got it up on the jack. I have greased some stuff. My poor man's power steering all got greased. Everything got checked. The needle roller bearings that I have in between the steering wheel base and then where the actual steering wheel attaches to, that needed serviced. If I remember correctly, I put a new one in and then greased it down. So that should be super good for a good little while. To the deck, I didn't really do anything. I did figure out though what was causing the hang up in the clutch. So this bar right here is what engages and disengages this clutch pad over here via the lever that's relatively loose, and the end of it was catching this this pulley here. So all I did was I just stuck a flat blade screwdriver down in between there and pried down on it a little bit. It clears it now, so no need to overcomplicate that. That'll be fine now. Now I just gotta scooch it back underneath there and drop it down, and I'll give it a spin around the yard. Either tomorrow, maybe the day after, I'll mow it. So the Craftsman is back up and running, and is, for all intents and purposes, as far as I could tell, ready to perform its duty. I'm sure there will be hiccups along the way. There always is, but yeah, this was short and sweet, guys. This was not a project that was planned. It was just kind of one of the ones that jumped up. Fingers crossed, a bunch of stuff has been marked off the to-do list, and now I can kind of get back to the tinkering, the just fooling around stuff. So with that being said, just like always, thank you everybody for watching. See you in the next one.